AI used to be something that we thought, oh, that's so far down the road. And that was 2 years ago.
SAP Business Suite, that's the future, right? We have all the solutions come under the same umbrella, and we have all these agents talking to each other, connecting all solution areas.
AI is founded on data, and so we know that we have to have good data in order for AI to work.
It really matters how fast you can move.
You can increase your go-to-market strategy, which you had it planned for about 2 months. No, now it's shrinking to 2 days, 1 day, or even 2 hours or 1 hour, right?
We can eliminate the repetitive tasks that we have in our day-to-day and really focus on creativity and innovation.
Imagine employees that have 20 more minutes to do something really innovative. That would be amazing.
If we don't stay curious about our lines of business and other lines of business, we'll never be able to get that cross-collaboration that we need.
Because when you go into it with SAP, you have all the modules kind of helping each other.
AI, data, apps, the whole platform actually. We should not see it as a layer, we should really see it as an embedded mechanism in this total ecosystem.
It's a turning point, either adopt or disappear.
Please welcome to the stage, Sebastian Steinhauser.
Good morning, SAP Connect. Wow, I would say sweet dreams are made of this. It's early in the day, so let's kick things off together. Quick show of hands. Who here is in HR? Yes. What about finance? Finance? Yes. Procurement? Ah, nice. Customer experience? Don't be shy. And where are my supply chain experts? Yes. You can see we have the entire power of the SAP Business Suite in one room. That's the spirit of SAP Connect. Before we jump right in, let's quickly recap the key takeaways from the past 2 days. In the opening keynote on Monday, Muhammad set the stage with AI that partners with people, data that defies boundaries, and applications that turn insights into action. Over the last 2 days, you have pressure tested those themes in your functions, in Keynote, deep dives, and of course, on the show floor. Now, who remembers all the major news from yesterday? No worries. While I hope you don't have memory gaps like in the Hangover movies, we got you covered. Let's kick it off with a quick recap of the highlights. I challenged our solution area CMOs to do that in just under 2 minutes each. So, please join me in welcoming Etosha, Hagen, Lara, and Jessica to the stage. Welcome. Okay, let's do this. Etosha, let's start with you. Tell us, what was on for financial management?
Our first Finance Connect was quite a ride. It sparked incredible conversations about the role of finance, how it is the conductor of the enterprise, working collaboratively across functions to mitigate risk, drive company health, and deliver profitable growth. During Finance Connect, we touched on value that we're adding from the controller to the treasurer, from the accountant to the auditor. Now, being a former actuary, I'm a little partial to accountants, so I want to take a minute to focus right here. If you think about the role of the accountant today, they're responsible for maintaining records, for preparing financial statements, and for ensuring compliance, as well as informing strategic decision-making. But even with having market-leading SAP technology, There are still manual tasks in the accounting process, like accrual preparation, like matching bids or goods and invoice receipts, and like clearing general ledger data. With autonomous financial close, we are introducing the controlling assistant that leverages the workforce of Joule agents to eliminate manual tasks and giving time back for things that matter the most to the controller, the accountants. These agents analyze data, reference internal policies and transactional history, make recommendations, and finalize key tasks. You even have the option to completely remove human intervention, creating a fully autonomous financial close process. The controlling assistant can orchestrate autonomous period end close, eliminating redundancies and freeing up time for what matters most. So you accountants out there, you can finally retire your calculators and spreadsheets. But because you have a financial background like me, I know you'll never really give them up.
Thank you, Etosha. Now, look, I always know you are up for an extra no. You have to tell me about those t-shirts.
I'm a little sassy.
So, Etosha, I know you're always up for an extra challenge. You also did the Spend keynote. Tell us a bit about what was on for Spend.
Well, some of you may know that I started my corporate career as a procurement category manager at Procter & Gamble. And this week we had a host of procurement professionals here for Spend Connect. Now, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but spend management professionals are dealing with constant change and uncertainty. This year alone has brought tariffs, new geopolitical tensions, and weather-related challenges. The need for ease, agility, and insight has never been greater. It's why I am so very pleased to highlight the announcement of Next-Gen SAP Ariba, the most modern source-to-pay solution suite with AI natively embedded that senses, reasons, and acts in the moment. Now, to bring this to life, I'm going to briefly reprise my role as a category manager, leveraging the category manager assistant. It takes into account the goals that I've set for my category and senses what's happening in the world, like tariffs impacting a key commodity. And it offers recommendations, like now might be a really good time to issue an RFP. And if you accept the recommendation, the sourcing assistant steps in, fully automating the creation of a sourcing event that meets the goals in your category that you set. When the responses come in, the sourcing assistant compares supplier bid data, factoring in unit prices, shipping, and payment terms. It even recommends the best supplier to meet your goals. Next-Gen SAP Ariba, bringing integration, intelligence, and impact. If that isn't exciting enough, we also announced the strategic alliance of SAP Concur and American Express Global Business Travel to introduce a new complete solution that leverages SAP Joule and Concur innovation along with enhanced content and savings from the GBT marketplace. We are unifying booking, servicing, and expensing, creating smarter, more personalized traveler journeys, and delivering greater insight for the travel manager. Thanks, Sebastian, for the opportunity to showcase the best of the best that we're bringing to finance and spend customers.
Thanks, Etosha, and I have to correct you on one thing.
Tell me.
You don't sound like a broken record because there are no broken records with SAP. Hagen, let's move over to you. What was on for supply chain management?
Thanks so much, Sebastian. And truly for us, it was a milestone also, bringing the supply chain community for the first time really globally together here at SAP Connect. And similar like in Etosha, in Spend, our customers are challenged day by day actually from global uncertainty, trade impacts or supply chain disruptions all across the globe, right? And having our portfolio actually geared up with AI, the assistants, the agents, and even more for supply chain management, the entire business network from design to operate, that's really a game changer. So when we're looking at our keynote, it was actually a true firework of announcements and innovations what we have. And starting with the first one, supply chain orchestration. It was always a big goal for us of having full transparency across the entire value chain and realizing the risks and mitigations across the entire problems what we're facing. So having such a blockbuster product actually now live, we would say we would have a multi-tier knowledge graph. We have scenario simulations based on AI, how to react in the best way, and then the agents executing and mitigating the problem end to end. Second, SAP Logistics Management. Oh, wow, man. That's a core domain of SAP, right? And addressing the challenges from small warehouses and logistics centers all across the world, thousands. This is a new product what we bring to the market. Cloud first, AI, and mobile first, integrating warehouses, transportation management, and logistics capabilities. That's a true groundbreaking innovation for us. And last but not least, supply chain planning reimagined. We asked ourselves, what's the future platform for planning? And having actually with supply chain planning reimagined IBP on the next level in a seamless planning and harmonized data space together, this is actually where we're going for. So supply chain management is fully geared up to tackle any challenge, and having such great customers like Red Bull, John Deere, HP with us on stage yesterday was really remarkable.
Thank you, Hagen. Okay. Recruiting, enabling and retaining the best people is more important than ever before. Lara, what was on for human capital management?
100%. Thanks so much, Sebastian. Wow, what a week. It was fantastic bringing together our HR community, and we just had so much fun with so many announcements. I think we all know the world of work is evolving fast, driven by rising employee expectations, new technologies, of course, and constant disruption. And SAP is really helping HR leaders respond with innovations that make work smarter, make it more connected, make it more personal. And at SAP Sapphire in May, we introduced our first Joule agent in SAP SuccessFactors, the Performance and Goals agent, which will be generally available next month. Building on that, this week we announced 4 new agents in SuccessFactors, which will support new role-based AI assistants in Joule for really everyday HR tasks. So they include the Career and Talent Development Agent, the HR Service Agent, the Payroll Agent, and the People Intelligence Agent. And all of these agents work on your behalf to help employees, managers, payroll admins, HR help desk specialists, HR leaders, and more work not only faster, but certainly smarter. And it doesn't stop there. So new agent-to-agent interactions or integrations with trusted partners like the Josh Bersin Company and GP will allow content from leading HR experts to flow directly into Joule, giving HR teams and people really enhanced insights to support them with their everyday HR tasks, like building a development plan or best practices for reskilling. We also announced that People Intelligence in SAP Business Data Cloud is now generally available. And so this people analytics solution turns your data into actionable insights so you can make much more informed decisions for your people and drive better business outcomes. And finally, with Smart Recruiters now part of the SAP family, we are reshaping the future of AI-driven talent acquisition, combining the scale of SuccessFactors, the power of SAP Business AI, and certainly the expertise of Smart Recruiters. All of these innovations unlock unprecedented possibilities, helping you turn opportunities into outcomes, to respond to change with much more confidence, and certainly to thrive in this future of work.
Thank you, Lara. Oh, it's a competition maybe. So last but definitely not least, at least for me as one of your hopefully most important customers, Jessica, what was on in customer experience?
Sure. So well-designed customer experiences are the key to building lasting relationships. Relationships that result in profitable growth for your business. I'm pleased today to announce the innovation that will help your sales, marketing, commerce, and services teams exceed customer expectations. Our revenue intelligence application, built on SAP Business Data Cloud, brings all of your sales data together in one place. It provides sales leaders with real-time view of the pipeline, as well as data from outside sources, with an AI-powered recommendation to spot risks, uncover growth opportunities that no sales team would have seen before. To further empower our sales and service teams, 2 new AI capabilities are released. First, account planning powered by deep research in Joule. Now, we're doing more than just automating tasks. We are bringing together data from across your business, as well as external sources, to uncover insights, provide predictive recommendations, and optimize account plans for each customer. And next is the Digital Service Agent, which provides intelligent, multilingual support around the clock. It uses your company's knowledge base, customer history, to deliver results that are accurate and provide answers that also allow your sales organizations and your support organizations to escalate to a person when needed. For marketing and commerce, of course, we're announcing Customer Loyalty Management. It launches in November as well. And this solution brings together all of your loyalty programs from across regions, partners, and business units. Brands can personalize offers and rewards across every engagement channel. And it becomes an integrated capability right into your ERP so you can measure the real impact of loyalty on your business. We're thrilled to be bringing all of these to our customers today.
Thank you, Jessica. Remember the launches in November. Thank you. Thank you, Etosha, Hagen, Lara, and Jessica. I would say 5 keynotes in under 10 minutes. Challenge accepted, challenge delivered. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Thank you. Okay, now this sounds so simple, so aligned. I wish it would always be like this. However, the reality is each area of our business has its own unique priorities. And of course, all important, urgent, all the time. Here's what my inbox looks like every day. If your processes, data, and teams aren't aligned, aren't connected, we'll never conquer uncertainty, workforce shifts, or true customer focus. Simply putting an agent on top of a broken process will solve nothing. As COO, running processes and IT for SAP, it's my job to bring all priorities under one roof. So, together with my team, I'm driving synergies across all lines of business, leveraging the AI, data, and apps flywheel. You have heard us talk about the flywheel in the opening keynote. Only if we make the flywheel spin, you can leverage the full potential, delivering on your needs faster. So, let me quickly show you how SAP runs SAP with the power of AI, data, and apps. Starting with AI. At Sapphire this year, we promised to make each and every one of you 30% more productive. And we can already see the difference at SAP. Our role-based AI assistants in Joule, powered by more and more specialized agents, support our team members. Across all areas of SAP, we already track several 100 million in AI-powered productivity gains. And we are just getting started. Next up, data. Earlier this year, we became customer zero of SAP Business Data Cloud. This was a step change in our data strategy to connect all our data in one data layer. And with that, being able to generate better insights faster across our financial, workforce, or sales planning. We are excited to go live with the first set of intelligence apps, starting with People Intelligence that GA'd here. And finally, the app layer. At SAP, we have moved from ECC to the SAP Business Suite and Cloud ERP. So, we are all in on RISE with SAP. The SAP Business Suite is where data is being created and where AI delivers impact. But processes continuously evolve, with AI even faster than before. Business transformation management helps us drive our transformation forward. So, we are now more than ever working with Signavio and LeanIX to improve our processes and architecture, embedding AI everywhere. And with the pace of technology changing faster than ever, WalkMe ensures our people stay informed and engaged at every step of the way. Along this journey, we use Business Technology Platform to keep a clean core and drive innovation. Thanks to SAP Build, our developers can build pro-code extensions and agents tailored to our unique needs, and at the same time, we help business users to automate critical process with no code. And with AI Foundation, we can streamline our AI development in one single system. Driving SAP's own transformation, I understand the challenges you face. And I am convinced leveraging AI, data, and applications across the entire SAP Business Suite is how we win together. Now, let's double-click into each layer of the flywheel, starting with AI. Over to you, Brenda.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. And it's great to be here at SAP Connect and talk with many of you this week. And I've heard three consistent themes in our conversations. First, you want AI that can provide tangible value. Second, that is secure and properly governed. And third, that it works seamlessly across your teams and business. Did I get that right? And we're here to deliver just that. So let me show you how business AI shows up in your day-to-day. Embedded in your applications, with Joule, and as you have heard throughout Connect, with the new AI assistants in Joule. So let's get started with use cases that are embedded directly in the applications that you use and that you trust today. They simply help you work faster, easier, and they deliver value here and now. And by the end of this year, we will have more than 400 of these AI use cases. Let me give you a couple of examples. Think about a sales order creation, an ordinary and time-consuming process. So using AI, you can just upload the purchase order as a PDF, and AI will extract all the data and autofill that request for you. So this reduces costs and time for up to 25%. Or think about procurement, where an employee has to respond to every single buyer request. With AI, now you can generate automatic responses. And just like that, your procurement team got 50% more productive. And many of our customers are seeing those benefits in their day-to-day. For example, BRF, a global food leader. They use spreadsheets to organize their demand and forecast data. And this slowed their data analysis significantly. So they couldn't keep up. They couldn't keep up with the scale of their business. AI is now helping them access and analyze their demand and forecast data 33% faster. So imagine what the teams can do with that time now. And as you can see, you can get immediate value with embedded AI right into your business processes. And we also have a new way for you to access your business processes, and that is Joule. Joule makes your business data and the entire SAP Business Suite immediately accessible through the power of a simple conversation, like we're having one right now. For example, you can know a lot more about your sales team, their performance, their revenue, and all of that happens in seconds. Joule can provide you with a chart so you can quickly review their sales performance by region or by time period. And Joule understands all of this context because it is grounded in your data. And we have customers like Barter Fumpack, a leading automotive supplier. They use Joule and SuccessFactors to help their teams hire faster and be more successful in their careers. It automates routine steps and gives answers to employees' HR questions like, who's up for a promotion? What is the next step in this hiring process? And the results are phenomenal. They experience 48% reduction in HR process execution time and 40% faster employee development and career planning. but most importantly, a better employee and candidate experience. So we have talked about embedded AI and Joule, but some processes require multi-step workflows and nuanced decisions across the organization. So how can AI help in those cases? And this is where AI assistants in Joule come in. And as Mohammed said on Monday, and you have heard throughout Connect, AI assistants in Joule become your personal AI teammates. They know your role better in the organization because they are role and context aware. So you could be a recruiter in HR or a demand planner in supply chain. Your AI assistant in Joule will know how to best help you get your work done. And then we have Joule agents, and they are the doers in behind the scenes. And Joule agents can easily collaborate across departments like HR and finance to coordinate tasks like headcount planning. They are deeply grounded in SAP processes, and you can customize them for your specific business needs. And today, we have 17 out-of-the-box agents available, plus 14 that are net new ones that we've announced right here at Connect. And you have probably seen our new production planning and operations agent. There is no need to run countless manual checks to release an order anymore. You can just ask Joule in natural language to do it, and it will do it safely and in real time. And we all know BMW, an automotive leader known for their precision engineering and their beautiful designs. They're already building an agentically connected enterprise. So this is a multi-agent fabric combining SAP and non-SAP agents with Joule as a point of entry. And this SAP and non-SAP agents work together with agent-to-agent collaboration. And there's 5 BMW groups that are already building their own agents. And they're doing that with Agent Builder and Joule Studio. And because we know that each one of your businesses is different, and pre-built agents are just not enough, that's why I'm excited to announce that Agent Builder is generally available this December. So with Agent Builder in Joule Studio, you can extend, you can build, or you can customize your own agents. So let's take a look. In Joule Studio, your experience starts with a familiar, intuitive SAP built interface. Let's take logistics as an example, a critical area where delays can impact your supply chain and make costs go up. The name and the description give Joule the context on when to engage the agent. In the no-code design canvas, you add instructions and expertise to define the agent's role. Then you can select from LLMs to help the Joule agent plan and reason and to give tools to act. Here we're going to add an action to pull in the weather and the risk conditions from a third-party system, supplier contracts that are important grounding documents, and a custom Joule skill to initiate transportation requests. So we're going to design that skill. First, we configure the inputs and the outputs. Inputs are the fields that Joule will require from the end user, and outputs are the result. Then you can browse and embed your existing automations in SAP Build to initiate specific processes in a really intuitive way. You can also add existing action projects to connect with third parties. And lastly, you can set up messages to configure how Joule shares the skill outcome with others. For example, that your transportation has been initiated successfully. Once the Joule agent and the skills are ready, we can go ahead and test them in a dedicated panel using prompts that we choose, for example, ordering electronic devices from suppliers that are based in a specific city, like Chicago. And with this, we can validate how the agent reasons, how it plans, and which tools the agent is using. This ensures the quality of the agent before you're ready to deploy it. Finally, we deploy the agent to production by specifying a version and selecting an environment. And from within SAP Build, teams can centrally manage the agent lifecycle and monitor the activity. The result are business-ready agents that drive immediate business impact. And now, with an increasing agentic workforce joining your company, like you saw, a strong governance model is critical. And the great news is that with SAP AI Agent Hub and Lean IX, you can centrally discover, manage, and govern all of your agents, SAP and non-SAP. And we know that it is important to verify the work that all these agents do. Therefore, I am happy to announce we now have agent mining capabilities in SAP Signavio. And with these capabilities, you can analyze your dual agent behaviors, decisions, and actions. And all that I've just shared with you shows how we're truly evolving enterprise software from being workflow-driven to be outcome-driven, which is what you all care about today, driving outcomes in your organization. And these systems are powered by proactive AI assistants in Joule that deliver a hyper-personalized experience with the reliability and the security that you trust SAP with. So here is how you're going to interact with these systems going forward. With an adaptive user interface that is dynamically created around your intent. You can say or you can type your end goal, and it will resend with the right context to act and get the job done. No static screens, no tab hopping. In one flow, you author the outcome that you want. And your AI assistant works with Joule agents in the background and acts on producing the outcomes you want while you stay in full control. So you essentially have one personalized, transparent touchpoint for productivity and decision-making. Smarter and more intuitive than ever before. And this is how we are redefining how people will interact with AI. This is how the hybrid workforce of the future will collaborate. So let's recap our journey so far, so we can make sure that when you step out of this room, you know the 3 things that you're going to share with your colleagues. First, embedded AI brings intelligence to every SAP business process. Second, Joule turns that into natural, intuitive interaction and conversation. And third, AI assistants in Joule help evolve from having helpers to being your personal AI teammates. And speaking of the future, another way that AI assistants can come to life, helping you with physical processes, is by giving them hands, eyes, and mobility through robotics. Because we know that the last mile execution has the most untapped potential. And this is how we extend SAP's business logic to any autonomous device, from drones to even humanoid robots. For example, tasks are safely trained in simulation with NVIDIA Omniverse technology, and then they're executed on robots with partners like Neura. Early customer pilots with Neura show Joule agents planning and executing real work in the real world, such as autonomous quality visual inspection, guided by SAP process intent. So as you saw today, you can get started with AI now, anywhere, and see immediate value. Business AI is making your business run smarter, naturally, and securely, truly elevating our flywheel of innovation. But we know that AI is only as good as its data foundation. So Irfan will now show you how Business Data Cloud powers our flywheel even more. Take it away, Irfan. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and many thanks, Brenda, for teeing up this subject so well. So as we advance into this AI world, one immutable fact remains, which is if we don't have a reliable data foundation, which is built around trust, of course, having reliable and resilient data, it becomes very, very debatable whether or not AI will succeed or not. If you take a look at data today, most customers in the room here, I'm sure many of you, are embarking upon a journey where you're trying to get a technical integration to your data. So that's just part of the problem. The challenge is that if you take, for example, a scenario like looking at the sales and maybe the marketing teams, a very common term that's used is pipeline. Now, if you look at pipeline in the context of a marketeer, they care about things like lead, for example, progression. They care about things like, for example, the conversion rates. They care about things like in terms of the velocity as deals progress through, going through the funnel. If you look at through the persona, for example, of a sales leader, what they care about is essentially the win rates. How long does it take to do a deal closure? How long, of course, does it make sense for them to be able to make sure that they maintain certain incentives? So all these things are very, very contextual. So as we lay a foundation, it's incredibly important that we start getting to a point where, of course, this flywheel that we talk about, the flywheel that, of course, builds from apps to data to AI, this is exactly why SAP put a huge investment, a very substantial investment in terms of building out this data foundation. Now, in the data foundation, of course, we launched our product called SAP Business Data Cloud in April of this year. Since we've launched this product, we've been working on building a very substantial number of these high-fidelity data products. Those data products now are spanning the breadth of our business suite. The value of this now means that we can have a harmonized data foundation. So just like when we go through the cycle that I just described with the pipeline, the context of the question and the role that's being used to ask the question can now be much more reliable in terms of getting the foundation that we desire in actual AI. Now, as we take a look at the benefits of business AI and we take a look at the business value that comes from data, of course, we want to ferment that data into consumable packages. And this is exactly now where we started introducing these intelligent applications. You heard yesterday from Mohammed now, he started showcasing some of the breadth of our coverage now, intelligent applications. What they build upon is a set of capabilities, which of course is built upon trusted data, and of course that role-specific insight. So you're not just looking at data which has no context, the data in itself carries that context pervasively across all of the interactions that you have, across data and of course the decision making. As we look at the foundation of these intelligent applications, we've already now introduced these into public preview, and you see finance intelligence to consumer product intelligence. All of these intelligent applications are taking full advantage now of this broad spectrum of these high fidelity data products. To give one specific example, let's take a look at the people intelligence intelligent application. And a good example of this would be if you take a scenario where you have an existing product, a very high-performing product, and you want to expand the scope to be able to take it to new markets. So let's assume you want to take this product to a completely new market, where right now you don't have a presence in the market. You would need to go through the entire process of first and foremost determining exactly what would be the cost of taking this product to market. You'd want to understand exactly what would be the impact on the bottom line. Of course, you want top-line accretion, but you don't want to actually compromise your foundation in business. There's a whole bunch of questions that need to be answered in that request. First and foremost, in terms of how is it that the supply chain is going to operate? How is it the procurement process is going to operate? Automatically, you can see data now spanning across the full spectrum of the business suite. If we now take a look at the intelligent applications that we have, if you look at the screen here, this is our entry point into the Business Data Cloud. This is where you meet now those data products, the models, and the analytics in order for us to be able to bring that entire experience to life. So if you can see here now, you see a tab which is Intelligent Applications. If I click on the People Intelligence application, immediately this will take us into now the People Intelligence set of data products and of course the entire persona that's available. Here you see the workforce composition, and you want to understand exactly what the current statement is around your open headcount. You want to be able to understand what the workforce progression needs to be, and you want to be able to get to a point now where as you take this new product to market, that you're not blindsided by not having the necessary skills. This is where we introduce now Joule. Joule can be introduced to be able to ask that very specific question: what roles do I need to be able to succeed in taking this new product to market? Joule will then be able to open up for you a new set of metrics. This is a new capability that we've just introduced into our SAP Analytics Cloud, where you get a very specific set of KPIs, which are very role specific. Here you can see that we have a skills gap. And in the skills gap now, we want to really start taking a look at where exactly are those skills that we need to fulfill in the organization. So we come to the roles insights. I can once again ask Joule now. I can say now, given the fact that we have this gap, I want to be able to deploy Joule again to take the recruitment agent on, start taking a look at the role definition, actually publish the role, start accumulating some resumes, and actually initiate the interview process. So this now gives us a full automation in terms of how we can go from a problem definition, using the foundation of all the data insights that we have within People Intelligence, and actually taking this to the next level. Now, once we've achieved the rollout, and we've actually got this person in the role, we also want to be able to manage the fulfillment of being able to look at the progression of the organization. We want to be able to manage our top talent. We want to be able to make sure that all of the insights that are available to the human resources officer, to be able to make sure they manage this from end to end. So this really gives a simple example of how data products, intelligent applications, and the hydration of these high quality data products will be able to come to life. Now, of course, what we want to be able to do is to take the value of this data to all of the open ecosystem partners that we have. And you heard yesterday as well that we announced the broadening of this ecosystem, and we now allow, for example, for the data of SAP data products now to bi-directly be shared in a zero-copy share format to both Databricks and also now, very excitingly, across to Google Cloud as well with BigQuery. So this gives us a very substantial level of value. So it plays to the skill set, of course, of your roles that you have defined for key roles, and also gives you the benefit now where you can take full SAP data, high-value, semantically rich data, and allow that very contextual value to be achieved as well. And now I'm going to introduce Michael Ameling, who's going to be able to show us how do we go from insight to action. So Michael, welcome on stage.
Thank you, Irfan. Thank you, Irfan. And hello, SAP Connect. So how do we keep the flywheel spinning so that you can keep continuing realizing value? Our SAP Business Suite helps you to drive innovation by uniting core business applications, data, and AI capabilities, all powered by SAP Business Technology Platform. And now, I will share with you how you can get to the suite faster. This happens when we combine the power of business transformation management and business technology platform. With BTM and BTP, you can connect all your systems, gain full visibility into your business, and understand how to bring out your best. And use those insights to innovate and build your own custom solutions. Let's say you want to understand and improve a business process in your company. SAP Signavio lets you to dive deep and understand every detail of this process. It can also suggest you concrete actions to take. And then we simply use those insights to improve the process in SAP Build. By automating processes, building your own agents, as Brenda just has shown in the AI part, and building app. And lastly, we can help people adopting these solutions with WalkMe. Let's make it even more concrete now with a demo. In just a few steps, we will move from a simple prompt to actionable root cause insights, targeted recommendations, and automation to business outcomes. Let's get started. I'm now in a role of an HR process owner who just received the new HR strategy for 2026. And I want to uncover opportunities for my processes. So I open the Transformation Advisor in SAP Signavio. The advisor can help me to improve processes based on my strategy. I simply upload the strategy document in the tool, and it quickly shows me 2 initiatives. And I want to learn more about the first one, increasing new hire satisfaction throughout the onboarding phase. And I can see that in average onboarding completion takes 45 to 60 days. That's way too long, especially compared to the industry best practice of 30 days. So I really want to improve it. But I also want to understand the root cause. Now, in the context analyzer, it shows me which process steps has the greatest potential for improvement, which is equipment compilation and ordering. Let's take a closer look. And we are above our target time of 5.5 hours. And I want to take action. So I simply ask Joule to find a solution to improve the equipment compilation. And Joule suggests me building an extension workflow with agentic bundling of equipment options in SAP Build, which means we can make use of an agent to help us with the problem. Sounds great, right? So SAP Build generates an end-to-end solution that includes a clean core compliant extension workflow. And you can use the simplicity of low-code, of vibing together with Joule to complete your development. And if I want to edit that workflow and add an extra step, that's actually very simple. So I asked Joule to add a step that notifies the manager after the ticket was successfully created in SAP Service Cloud. The workflow is calling an agent to put together the bundling of equipment for the most optimal way. So let's save the workflow and review the agent. The AI agent intelligently bundles
and suggests the most optimal equipment for the respective employee's role. This all derived from country-specific business rules. I think you all know that. So let's release the workflow and the agent. And now we are back to the end-user view. And as a result, several bundles are proposed for choice for approval for the manager in our SAP Task Center. And Joule assists the user with an intelligent approval recommendation to complete the approval. Here, I can check the bundle again. Now let's assume we run this process for several weeks. What I can do now, I can go back to process intelligence. And I can see directly in our workflow, the onboarding cycle has been cut from 60 days to only 10 days. And in addition, the new hire sentiment is significantly increased. Isn't it great? But is really everything on track? Now again, let's ask Joule and check the process conformance. So SAP Signavio identifies anomalies. So from here, I can further identify improvements and define the business rules for SAP Build as a guardrail for the agent. Let me summarize. First, we uploaded our strategy in SAP Signavio, and it immediately flagged onboarding as a priority topic. Next, we used Joule in SAP Build to generate an agent-driven equipment bundling workflow. And as a result, onboarding cycle dropped from 60 to 10 days, and the new hire sentiment rose significantly. And customers, like Blue Diamond Growers, also came to us looking for identifying improvements. They're actually the biggest marketer and processor of almonds in the world. And they really wanted to boost efficiency and maximize returns. I think who doesn't want that? And they also used SAP Signavio Process Insights to uncover opportunities for process improvements. And they got more than 100 recommendations. And then, with SAP Build Process Automation, it helped them to streamline automation capabilities. And they used SAP Integration Suite to effectively connect their system and streamline operations. This saves them thousands of hours annually in the ocean freight process. Now, let's take it even one step further with WalkMe to drive meaningful adoption. Let me also show here an example of the employee experience with WalkMe's AI-powered digital adoption solution. You can see the solution here as an overlay on top of SAP SuccessFactors. Our employee is navigating a critical part of the performance management process, goal setting, that every employee goes through year after year. And WalkMe guides the users in SuccessFactors with fast in-app walkthroughs, automation, and error checks. And goals are created and submitted correctly with little need for documentation and support. Imagine the same outcome, not just in goal setting, but in any process in SuccessFactors, or even across any SAP application for all. This is truly a people-first approach for business transformation. So with just a few simple clicks, we used SAP Business Technology Platform and SAP Business Transformation Management to turn strategy into action. Now, let's see BTP and BTM further in action. And for that, let me hand over to Anja Schneider for the integrated tool chain. Thank you.
So, good morning, Vegas. Are you still out there? Excellent. Thank you, Michael. I truly love the demo. And with WalkMe and Business AI, you can go from how do I use it to get it done just in a snap of a finger. You have seen so many great innovations throughout Connect. Now the real question is, how do I turn it into action? And the good news is that's exactly the role of our services and support teams. We help you to truly use all of our innovations, to fully realize the value of your investments. We are with you every step, a little bit like a personal trainer, or you can call us as well your fitness coaches. In today's fitness class, I will show you how we make it real through our methodology, the suite methodology, through content, through tooling, and of course, through our experts. A great place to start is with the fitness gear or the integrated toolchain. Sebastian and Michael showed LeanIX, Signavio, and WalkMe. And on top, we add Cloud ALM, that is application lifecycle management, and as well transition guidance with Joule for consultants and developers. Cloud ALM helps you operations steady with continuously delivered capabilities, ready to be activated. It also guides you to stay close to standard with a clean core. Just take IBM as a proof point. In one of the largest transformations in the ecosystem, they stayed close to standard. That meant upgrades ran smoothly, incidents were low, and go live was a non-event. With the help of our max attention teams, and that's the clean core effect, for more than 150,000 users across 175 geographies. Next, we introduced transition guidance. You already have now the tooling. Now we make your business transformation faster and simpler with AI. With transition guidance, Joule for consultants can kick off your transformation, mapping interfaces, migrating data, automating testing. Just ask Joule for what you need, and it will guide you through every step end to end like a consultant. But again, at the snap of your finger, 24/7. But we don't stop there. SAP supports hundreds of business AI use cases and AI agents that you have heard. But what matters is maybe the one case that makes a difference for you, or maybe for you, or for you. And that's why we link our business processes in Signavio and LeanIX with embedded AI, so you see what's relevant, activate it, and move forward with confidence. So you have the tooling, but the real value comes when the tool chain is in action. For every line of business feels the impact: finance, procurement, supply chain, customer experience, and as well human resources. But let's also see some proof. We can look at Sasol, a global chemicals and energy company. Here, the SAP teams work together to fuel operations powered by preferred success. And when we started working together, our adoption teams mapped the reality inside SuccessFactors. But what they found, it was 63 features identified as not really fully used, 33 disconnected process flows, and 13 core HR processes with a little room to grow. So the true investment in the end was not fully realized. But through a proactive engagement, we co-created a roadmap that kept them close to clean core standards, and the impact was immediate. Again, downtime dropped from weeks to just days, because the teams were in the trenches, mapping flows, guiding, and helping the system standard. And Sasol is just one example. This year alone, our HCM adoption experts have actively engaged with nearly 3,000 customers worldwide. And that's what we see as accelerating transformation, how it looks like in practice. And one additional wish we clearly heard from you: show me what a modern, efficient standard looks like in my industry. And that wish was our command, because we have now launched the model company for SAP Business Suite. It is a ready-to-run industry process designed for where your industries are going, not only today, but also tomorrow. It supports business transformation with pre-configured systems, so you can move faster from the idea to the execution. And everything is built on standard. It connects directly analytics, business AI, so you can see insights, automation, and embed it into your daily processes. And it ties closely, seamlessly back to Signavio and Cloud ALM. It's available to all Business Suite customers on RISE as an entitlement, but the best thing is at no extra cost. So maybe that's a moment where you can clap. So, to close it off, here's your gain from today's workout. Every line of business is ready to use the latest innovation. What matters is bringing it all together end-to-end in an integrated SAP Business Suite. And for this, our service and support teams are your activators, again, remind, the fitness coaches, And we connect every process, every tool, every AI use case, so you can turn it innovation into impact today. That's our job, and that's how you become unstoppable at yours. And with that, back to Sebastian.
That's my type of workout. So, thank you, Anja. Let's close it off where we started. Earlier, I shared with you how we are driving SAP's transformation, leveraging the AI, data, and apps flywheel. And we are not alone on this journey. So, let's hear from one of our customers who is leveraging the SAP Business Suite as a flywheel to power their transformation. Please welcome Todd Inlander of Southern California Edison. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Wow, awesome.
Awesome, great to have you. So, your company is serving, what, 15 million people in Southern California?
That's right.
A region that faces some very unique environmental challenges. So maybe first question to you is, how did you adapt to these unique challenges and how do you use technology in that?
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's a pretty unique time for us at Southern California Edison, still dealing with the devastating effects of wildfires, climate change, change to what's happening in our ecosystem, balancing that with the fact that we're facing the most demand that we've probably experienced in the last 50 to 100 years. We're a 140-year-old company, probably 80% increase over the next 20 years in demand, driven by data centers and electric vehicles and electrification of buildings. And so that is dramatically changing our landscape and dictating that we do something different. So we need to continue to adhere to our mission, which is to deploy safe, reliable, affordable power. We can't do that with just doing things the way that we've always done it. We have to incorporate, of course, SAP. We're using that to transform the way we work in our environment, and so we're going to need to do that. But of course, we have to leverage AI because we really don't have enough humans to do all the work that we need to do, and we have to scale very quickly.
Awesome. So maybe Todd, I mean, you were an early adopter of RISE with SAP and the SAP Business Suite. So how did SAP help you to create synergies across your operations at SCE?
But I don't want us to get too far ahead of ourselves because we still have, call it another year, to deploy the SAP suite, and then we'll be deploying over the next couple of years. So we've set up our RISE environment, we have test environments and all that good stuff, but what we need to do is create strong change management in order to make sure we adhere to the clean core and leverage BTP and all the list of SAP buzzwords I'm supposed to say. But we want to make sure...
There was no money involved.
No money, although every time I mention AI, I get $1. So, but we need... No, yeah, I'm not a paid speaker, clearly. So we do need to leverage those things, but it's going to come, change management is prominent in that because we want to not modify our application portfolio. When we implemented ECC, I don't know, like 15 years ago, about 66% of our enhancements were never used. So we're learning from that experience. We want to keep a clean core. We want to keep things, reduce customizations and make sure that the business understands that that's the way you use SAP and you run SAP.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you already touched on AI. So what are your plans using AI for your further transformation?
We have 0 plans for AI. No, we're done. No, we have been using AI, oh my gosh, because of the advent of wildfires. We have been using 8 to 10 years, leveraging AI for inspection, for looking at assets and taking pictures. So we've done all that, and then of course came the large language models. We started to use that more as an efficiency for regulatory, for IT, for customer service. Where we're moving with AI is we need to kind of push the envelope in the field for grid operations, the equivalent of Joule or Copilot for grid operations, so we can create a more autonomous and reliable grid, and that's how one of our more prominent use cases. We're also thinking and actually started, how do we prevent humans from being deployed to the field? And from a safety perspective, from an increase in quality, so we're leveraging LiDAR and satellite data to look at vegetation management is basically fuel for fires, is to reduce that by doing pre-trim inspections, leveraging AI. And so we have a series of deployments that are scheduled over the next couple of years. We're heavily dependent on AI.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So maybe last bonus question.
Yeah.
So what's next on your journey at SC?
Let's see. So, of course, our SAP deployment, which, as I said, will take several years, and we're going to use that to transform our back office operations. We will be integrating Joule and other AI solutions into that, because to do things the way we've always done it and expect a different outcome is what the definition of insanity. So let's not be insane as a public utility. We're gonna deploy those capabilities. The other major change we're also making is we're changing the dynamics of how we operate the grid with more control system capability, more automation and outage management, and with an overlay of AI of all of that to create a truly autonomous, adaptable grid for the future.
Awesome. So the next Colossus data center can be built in Southern California.
Absolutely. We're ready in 5 to 10 years. No, yes.
Thank you, Todd, for sharing your story.
Sure.
And thank you for the partnership.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you. What an inspiring story. At the beginning of this keynote, I challenged our CMOs to share their highlights in under 2 minutes. Now, I always like a good challenge, so let me try to wrap it up in just under 1 minute. So, first of all, we have made great progress across all lines of business to deliver a unique experience for all of you, with AI becoming your personal assistant, powered by data that defies boundaries, and applications that take insight into action. Second, the cross capabilities you just saw now make the flywheel spin. So, to wrap it up, I hope you leave Vegas with many fresh ideas how to embed AI into your everyday work. Because for the very first time, what happens in Vegas doesn't need to stay in Vegas. Thank you. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for joining us here at the very first SAP Connect, and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.